and I barely did shots with Anthony towards the end, but I would always go in and drink with Gavin. And then Gavin would come in and pull this fucking horse shit where it's like, Geno's an idiot. All right, good bit. I remember the election night. We're drinking at the bar across the street. We go over, and then Gavin starts yelling at me and Bill. And they're like, Gavin hates Geno. And I'm looking at Gavin like, don't get me wrong, I was half apologetic. I'm like, is this something it's just all the fucking work with him because he has no Gavin has no comedic talent. Stop kidding yourself. He doesn't.
Here, Geno got banned again. 2 weeks. Got 2 strikes on his channel. He thinks he's cool. He thinks he's cool. He's gonna get suspended from high school. He's like the kid on the Breakfast Club. Oh man, what a world.
Yes. Speaking of weddings, by the way, I love how I'm the bad guy with this fucking merger.
I love it too. Thanks.
No,
by the way.
All right, let's take a look. I love this. All right, let's take a look. I love this.
I guess. Speaking of weddings, by the way, I love how I'm the bad guy with this fucking merger.
I love it too. Thanks.
No, you're not the bad guy. You're just bad. You're just look at the nervous laugh. Look at it.
Like when we had that meeting and I said it's over, everyone's fired. It's the criticism I get from those guys is that I enjoyed saying that.
Right.
My plan was I'm going to be so bare bones, totally true.
Let me explain why he enjoyed saying it.
No powdered sugar.
Okay. And let me explain the definition of getting out over your skis. And I hope someone clips this one. Because Gavin is
Geno, I hope somebody clips this. Do Geno a favor and clip this.
I don't want to say two-faced, but he has 2 different faces. Like
He's a proud boy. He's proud. He's a proud boy.
Buddies. I did. I don't want to say two-faced, but he has 2 different faces. Like I always thought me and Gavin were buddies. I did. And I'm sure he'll go on air and be like, oh my God, Geno's such a like this. But when we would sit at the bar and do shots and talk about his
sit at a bar and put bread in my jar, said, man, what are you doing here? Yay. If I could do heroin, I would. If I could do heroin right now, because alcohol ain't quite cutting it anymore. That's a fact, Jack.
Because I was very good at my job, and I watched Anthony because it was enjoyable, and I watched Compound Censor, and I even had a sub till these tried to charge me fucking $100 for this shit. And he's ruining. Like, there's a reason Anthony was losing money, you know, and there's a reason Gavin wanted to take Anthony's money and fucking just add him to the fray, because he doesn't have a podcast studio. He's got a podcast network where he just fucking brings people in for door deals. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'll say it again. Thank God I'm not working for him. And you could be like, oh my God. Even when I thought, and I'm not saying like I said I won't work for him. It's not what happened. But I like that fucking, just like fucking whenever I was on YouTube, I'm like, what am I doing here? I went and saw the studio. And what's his name? Ryan showed it to me. Ryan's fucking great, overworked, but great. And I'm like, this will work. But there was part of me that was stressed out because I don't know if I want to work with some phony alt-right fucking psycho. I don't. And then I said, and there's a good man saying, I don't want to work for the Proud Boys. I don't know what the Proud Boys are, but look, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. I feel like I'm at a barbecue. I'm having a great time already. Watching Geno watch the boss. Geno doesn't know what a Proud Boy is, and he's sorry.
That 1 minute I'm drinking with you and you're one person, and the next minute you're like, oh, I'm on air. I got to shit on Geno. And trust me, I didn't look at him saying, why is he shitting on me? He likes me. I'm like, why is he shitting on me? Doesn't he like me? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, he's just a character because he has nothing really to say. He says provocative shit. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Whatever. He's all about.
You don't even finish his catchphrases anymore. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Wow. Wow. Geno's finally calling it like it is.
Making money in that spot. And he's good at it. Never once did I say Gavin is a broke piece of shit. Never once did I say Gavin doesn't have. Never once. But I don't want to do a podcast where I sit there thinking of, oh, how's my, stop it.
Look at Geno. Geno's above everything, but he on the bottom it says hit the like button. Then it puts his Venmo. I thought he didn't care about money. I thought the universe was going to provide. He don't care about YouTube. He wants brick and mortar.
So answering the question when he goes,
Nat.
Right.
My plan was I'm going to be it's over. Everyone's fired. The criticism I get from those guys is that I enjoyed saying that.
Gavin, it seems like he can't talk very well sometimes. Like his mustache and his beard are kind of impeding him. Look at
the
it.
person
was I'm going to be
Unless he has a list.
Stop it. So answering the question when he goes,
Nat.
Right.
My plan was I'm going to be it's over. Everyone's fired. The criticism I get from those guys is that I enjoyed saying that.
The person he was playing enjoyed saying it. Whoever he was in that moment, I was there. And he goes, long story short, everyone's fired. Everyone's fired. Except Geno and Chrissy, their shows are making money, and he was never going to pass. And who cares? Fucking just sit in my fucking studio. He's like, everyone's fired. And he enjoyed it. He enjoyed whoever he was in that moment. He sat at the desk, and he did it, okay? Because he wanted to. He wanted to play. And now watch what he says. Like, I just wanted to rip the Band-Aid off. What? It could have been done 90 other ways. Watch this.
Right.
My plan was I'm going to be so bare bones, totally truthful with no bullshit. I'm not going to fuck.
He's not going to powder their donut.
Guys, if you believe this, that's fine.
We do, Geno.
I have no problem if you believe this. I will just let it play. But I'm telling you.
You won't let it play. Either will I.
When you're fucking one person at the bar and you're a normal friendly
guy. And you put
guy,
bread in my jaw.
You
said, man, you're fired over here. La, la, la.
He knows, Beyonce does OnlyFans. I'll never talk to him again. Then you see him the next night. When you're fucking one person at the bar and you're a normal friendly guy, and then when you're another person, say, oh, Geno's, Beyonce does OnlyFans. I'll never talk to him again. Then you see him the next night. Hey, how you doing, buddy? I don't want to be that guy. Maybe that's why people don't like me, because I say the stuff on stage that I say off. If you think I get off stage or off air or off mic and say shit like Kevin Brennan, look, Gene, being your friend isn't good for business. I don't want.
Oh, man. Sorry, everybody. I'm having a good time already. I don't even need heroin. Turns out I just need this.
To be that guy. I think I get off stage.
Don't worry. We'll get gas. Don't worry, you pretty little head. But again, YouTube's telling me do short shows and make less money, and then I keep more. That's what they're telling me. I just saw my net from yesterday. They're basically saying, if you make a decent amount of money on a show, we're going to take a lot of it. If you don't make a lot of money, we'll take almost nothing.
Stage or off air or off mic and say shit like Kevin Brennan, look, Gene, being your friend isn't good for business. I don't want to be that guy. Makes life difficult. Makes life work. I don't work. Let's listen.
I'm not going to powder this donut. I'm just going to be like, here's the bitter pill to swallow.
Get a new cigar, Geno. You're going to fucking burn your fucking face. Holy shit. Is that even safe, Teamster Tim? Teamster Tim turned 60 today, everybody. I guess he has the same birthday as Neil. I wish Neil was a trucker and Teamster Tim was a comic.
Right.
This is what it is. If you have any ideas, we could work.
What the fuck? Get a new cigar. Who smokes a cigar down to the... It's like Barry Ribs.
Through it, but if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. The end.
He loves that.
And then you came out as the good guy, and I'm Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, because Cumia wants everyone to like him, and he's afraid of confrontation. And Gavin lived for it. What was the Proud Boys all about? Confrontation. He did a gig at NYU and there was fistfights before the show and after the show between the Proud Boys and Antifa. I was like, what are they fighting over? How bad was Gavin at the NYU show?
Anthony is the good guy. Anthony fucking dragged us 2 years across the finish line.
Oh, look at Geno. Still sucking his knob. That's good, Geno. These fucking Olive Garden Italians, they stick together. Got to get points for that.
You could hate how he did it. You could hate how he did it. But for me to hate how Anthony did it, would for me to be like, well, should he have done it like Gavin would have done it? And
no, he should have given you notice. He should have been like, hey, we're shutting down in 2 months. Like any white business would have done.
Fired us 2 years earlier saying I'm
Cumia hates black people, but he has a lot of tendencies.
Losing money on this because I'm really good at broadcasting, but I'm not good at the business aspect. And the people that are doing the business would be like, well, should he have done it like Gavin would have done it and fired us 2 years earlier saying I'm losing money on this because I'm really good at broadcasting, but I'm not good at the business aspect. And the people that are doing the business aspect, I wasn't good at hiring them. And I'm not slighting Anthony. I suck with money too. I suck like.
That's what Geno's admitting he sucks at money. Is that what he's going to say when he has to move or when he goes broke? He's like, I'm just not good with money. I've made lots of money. I'm just not good at maintaining it. I'm not good at managing my money.
Okay. Gavin was all about the money and said, the sooner we killed this, the fucking better. You think they couldn't have let it go 2 more months? You think if Gavin said, Anthony, do 2 more months? Anthony, I'll help you with the money because I'm making so much money here. And I know he's making money there because he's fucking using all the fucking people at that place. And don't get me wrong. I've heard rumors it might not even be his money originally. By the way, I think I burnt my mustache. Fine. But like, I mean, look at that. If you like, look at these 2 people. And it's like, like, do you see which one is being honest? Anthony going, and Gavin going, what? Well. Here we go. Watch.
I don't know how that happened.
I've never seen a guy smoke a cigar like that. That's insane. Even Barry Roots would fucking throw it away. And he's a fucking comedy hobo. And Gavin drinks Coors. That is not a good look. Is that Coors Light? That yellow can? It's not a good look. Geno's getting the last smoke out of that cheap cigar. Literally a stub of a man, a stub of a cigar.
Assumed I would be the bad guy. And some people call me, I'm a coward.
Yeah, I did.
Because I didn't do it myself.
But you were at the meeting.
You to do it.
If you were
not in person, he wasn't at the meeting in person. Nobody could take a swing at him on a TV screen, on a Skype in, on a StreamYard.
At the meeting, and I'm like, it's over. You could have been like, wait.
Oh, no. Buddy, I love reading it. I fucking love reading it. Checks and Patrick B. Feel free not to read this. The merger and the firings could and should have been handled better. The person least important is talking the most. He's referring to his line about Luby. And again, like, that's Gavin the second. If you don't understand, thanks for proving me right, Texans, Patrick B. If you don't get that, like, look, I'll say it again. He probably wouldn't want to have a drink with me. There was never a time where I begrudgingly bought Gavin a shot. There was never a time where I walked into fucking Sullivan's and said, Christ, Gavin's here. There were times I walked in. In fact, I'll go so far as to say, and you can ask Gavin, you can text him or tweet him or whatever. When we would walk into the fucking bar at Sullivan's, Gavin was at the bar, Anthony was in the back, and I would go and hang out with Gavin because I didn't want to bother Anthony. I've had it with all the fucking bullshit that I gave Anthony the heart attack. Just fucking stop. I'm going to say this. Stop cucking Anthony. Everyone that ever said Geno got Pat Dixon fired. No, Pat Dixon got himself fired because Anthony's like, I can't have a nut like this working here. If you think I went up to Anthony Cumia and said either fire Pat or I'm going to sue you, then you fucking don't know what loyalty is. If you think I went up to Anthony, another fucking common one, and said either fire Pat or me because, Anthony's my bitch, well, then one, you're saying Anthony's my bitch because he did, or two, you're saying...
What? What's he even saying? There's too many ones and twos. Geno, you're fired anyway. Who cares? You're all fired. Who cares if Pat Dixon, what you said about Pat Dixon and Cumia and et cetera, and the boss was doing his prep in the back, so you hang out with Gavin. Make a point, Geno. Ones and twos, what?
Uh,
Sounds like Tom Cassidy over here.
fucking Pat Dixon's show sucked, which by the end it did because he kept me.
Geno, your show sucked. In Hot Water sucked at the end, and Geno's show by himself sucked the whole time.
If you think I went up to Anthony Cumia and said either fire Pat or I'm going to sue you, then you fucking don't know what loyalty is. If you think I went up to Anthony, another fucking common one, and said either fire Pat or me because, you know, Anthony's my bitch, well, then one, you're saying Anthony's my bitch because he did, or two, you're saying fucking Pat Dixon's show sucked, which by the end it did because he kept me and not him. Stop it. Stop it. Everyone's
Geno's smoking a half-inch cigar. He's admitting he's not good with money. That's going to be his new excuse for why he went broke or filed for bankruptcy. Just wasn't good with money. I didn't have any money coming in. I just wasn't good with that part. I was good with the money going out, not good with the money coming in.
responsible for who and where they are. No one ever made, and I barely did shots with Anthony towards the end, but I would always go in and drink with Gavin. And then Gavin would come in and pull this fucking horse shit where it's like, Geno's an idiot. All right, good bit. I remember the election night. We're drinking at the bar across the street. We go over, and then Gavin starts yelling at me and Bill. And they're like, oh, Gavin hates Geno. And I'm looking at Gavin like, what the? And don't get me wrong, I was half apologetic. I'm like, is this something it's just all the fucking work with him because he has no fun. Gavin has no comedic talent. Stop kidding yourself. He doesn't.
That's true. That's a fact. Gavin's not funny. Gavin's whole thing, he's like a shock jock with no comedy. He just says outrageous stuff. But again, he's always the same guy. He's just a dick. He's a mean-spirited dick who enjoyed firing everybody. That's a fact. And now Cumia is like, yeah, I needed Gavin because Gavin, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And, I was getting taken advantage. Again, that's true. Bill Schultz and Joanne took advantage of him for 7 fucking years, man. That's a long time. That's $700,000 just for that one show. So Cumia needed Gavin to be the tough guy. Good cop, bad cop.
He doesn't. He says provocative, funny things, but I've done shows with him. And he'll be the first to tell you, look, I just tell jokes. And I say things like this. Good Lord. Let's go back to the explanation.
What? Hey, not on my watch. What are you talking about? But you were right next to me. We were like the two guys in Office Space where we're like, what do you do? Okay, well, that's not good.
Yes, the guy that sustained us for 8 years, that did tours with us, that went drinking with us, that was the same guy behind this mic as he was across the street at the bar and when you texted with him. That guy was watching you fire us. A guy that never gave us a cent, that never gave us any credit, that said all the time, everyone should be fired here except Garrett and Drew, and you fired them anyway because you didn't watch any of the other shows. We get it.
Cumia didn't watch any of the other shows, Geno. Cumia didn't watch your show. He didn't watch anything. You think he would have kept paying Bill Schultz if he watched his fucking show?
We get it. Why are we mad at you? Because you were brought. Let me tell you this. Kudos to Anthony for using you for just what he needed you to do. Be a fucking duplicitous fucking weasel.
Be a man. He needed Gavin to be a man because Cumia couldn't do it. He needed Gavin to be a man. He needed a man to do a man's job. Cumia couldn't do it. He ain't a man. He acts like he's a tough guy, but he ain't no man.
Mad at you because you were brought. Let me tell you.
He got fired from Sirius because some black lady bitch slapped him, and he got all mad. He didn't just go, I got bitch slapped. Like when I got bitch slapped by Gary Goldman and or Bobby Kelly. I'm like, I got bitch slapped. Cumia was like, I got to tweet about it. He ain't a man. A real man just takes it.
Kudos to Anthony for using you for just what he needed you to do. Be a fucking duplicitous fucking weasel. Kudos, Anthony. Fucking kudos.
Gonna work. But one of the guys in Office Space is the bad guy.
Yeah, I think the bottom line was that could have happened.
Anybody who fixes their hair, takes off their hat to fix their hair, is not a man. I take that back. Gavin's not a man. and he's looking at the mirror or something. He's looking at the monitor to see what his hair looks like. Anybody, and Gavin cares about what he looks like. He cares about his mustache and his beard and his fucking gay hair and his gay shirt.
Happened 3 years earlier, maybe.
Right.
And it didn't. So, you know, I think they kind of took that into consideration and went like, oh, well, Anthony kind of kept it rolling for a while. I think it's just, you know, you were the axe man. You were the executioner. You know, I could give the order, but you're actually, you know, lopping the head off
right now.
Chopping off the head. And also, I never spent a red cent on those guys. You spent a ton of money on those guys and gave them equipment and stuff. So I just don't want it to be like it was 100% my idea and you were like, wait, what?
Of course it was my idea. You know, we had talked about it. We had our little clandestine meetings.
Yeah. It was his idea after the second time he shelled out 50 grand because it wasn't making money. It was his idea. We get it, Gavin. But you're the guy that fucking lied. You're like, well, it's going to be a merger. You just wanted Anthony. Gavin said,
yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was the only valuable asset with Anthony. Geno, you have 100 fans if you're lucky. Chrissy has less than that, even though she has 100,000. Jesus, imagine if I had 100,000 subscribers. We're gonna do one of those. What do you do when you dream sequence? When they play that funny music and then I show me with 100,000 subscribers how my life would be totally different.
Said to me on a phone
I'd
call,
still be
he's
sending
like,
the
yeah,
link to Mr. Kill Everything.
I don't need you guys anymore. Once I got all the subs, I didn't need you, and I didn't even get mad. Like that was honest, Gavin.
I'm watching this because I'm a shareholder. I still pay, I think, to Compound Media every month.
Keanu is my witness. I'm like, oh, that makes it easier. Oh, that makes it. He's like, yeah, we probably would have moved. We weren't going to pay you that. We were going to give you Cuba. And that's fine. I have no problem with Gavin saying, like, I wasn't going to pay you. I have no problem with Gavin saying, once I got, that's Gavin being honest. You understand? That's Gavin being honest. But everything up until that, horse shit.
About who we were whacking.
And it wasn't even an idea. It was just an inevitability.
Agreed.
Yeah, it was inevitable.
It's like the steamboat. Like,
yeah. First of all, I predicted this, I don't know how many years ago, but I said once they hit 10 years, they're not going past 10 years.
I'm sorry, but eventually there's.
So that's it. Again, Gavin, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me at the bar. Thanks for the drinks. Thanks for all that. Well, I bought all the drinks because that's how Daddy do. I don't miss that either.
Geno buys the drinks in theory, and then he walks it out on the tab.
I don't miss. It's amazing. It's amazing how my Amex bill has actually gone down somehow. It's on me. Jeff Illman, Steve said it best. Gavin could have broke the news to E-Rock and have E-Rock break the news to you guys since he was the actual second in command. Oh, please. Don't even get me started on how much E-Rock did. But again, grateful for the whole 8 years. Really am.
Yeah.
It was a good fucking time.
Yeah.
It was a good fucking time. And many friends were made. And
where are they now, Geno? Where are they now?
Like people like, who came to your wedding? Any comics? I'm like, not really. Dombrowski, fucking our buddy Bronson, but it was like mostly family. What's that? Sheba. I didn't even say Sheba. But I'm saying like it was
Sheba Mason went to the wedding. How about Jackie?
Mostly my family and my family from Compound Media.
And my family and my college friends.
Yeah, and it was great. She is.
Hello, darling.
Oh, they're still married.
First, I love you. Just like to say, even if you begged me to invite Gavin, say you were better buddies, I would never in 1 million years. I would sooner die than have that man anywhere near my wedding.
Yeah. Oh my God. By the way, did he talk?
Jesus. I hope Gavin takes this well.
Never happened.
Was that the end of it? Did he talk about the fucking?
Yeah,
he didn't talk about not coming to the wedding, did he? Because again, he's like, why would he be?
That was what they. That's what we were watching.
I was. But
Look at those lovebirds.
By the way, oh my God, hold on. I forgot. Thank you, babe, for reminding me. I think that was before.
Right. He thinks he should have been invited to my wedding.
Oh my God,
so
hold
he could
on.
Pull his dick out in front of my gay brother or something.
Of course, it was my idea. Yeah, it was inevitable.
It's like the steamboat. Like, I'm sorry, but eventually there's more efficient ways to drive.
You can't. Everyone was nice though at the wedding. They weren't.
Yeah, that's my problem. That's my beef.
Yeah.
The wedding I wasn't invited to.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Who would ever invite him to our wedding?
okay.
Allow me to explain why he would say that, and not like you're dumb. This proves.
I said it yesterday, the day before. Gavin's an entitled bitch. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. They always talk about how black women are entitled or this group's entitled. Gavin's an entitled bitch, because he thinks he's the coolest, smartest guy that ever lived. I mean, I got that from Gavin like in one. I had kind of one meeting with him, not a meeting. He did my show, and I'm like, oh, this guy. I got to read on Gavin quick. But Geno, after a while, these guys weren't complicated. And I knew Compa Media wasn't doing great. But I mean, Keith the Cop, Cumia, it wasn't complicated. Again, the only person that really was like good at their job and a good guy was Garrett. That's a fact, Jack. Everybody else was like slippery and slimy. But if I told Garrett, hey, Garrett, can I tell you something and tell you something in confidence? I know I could trust Garrett. Garrett's the one guy, nobody else there. But again, Cumia's using Gavin to get rid of his company. He's using Gavin, and Gavin's like, I don't care. He likes doing the show with Cumia, the Wednesday show. People seem to like it, et cetera, et cetera.
That's my point.
Who would ever invite him to our wedding?
Allow me to explain why he would say that, and not like you're dumb. This proves my point. He's so used to he thinks he can be two people. He's like, well, Geno would always drink with me at the bar. Yeah, because that was the Gavin that I thought was my friend. But he's like, why would I invite him to my wedding?
The leader of the Proud Boys.
And I don't care if I'm talking out of school. He didn't give Chrissy and Frank a gift.
No, he did.
He went to their wedding and he played the I have a year to give it card. And I'm sure he could still give it now. But as of last check, he didn't give.
He's Scottish. That's what he'll say. He's Scottish. He's cheap as shit. That's what he says. That's why he wasn't going to pay anybody. He's blaming the Scots.
Chrissy and Frank a wedding gift.
That's cheap. That's embarrassing. Wow. Gavin's garbage. He really is garbage. I mean, he's just, ugh.
And I love Chrissy and Frank.
I hate cheap people. Seriously. I fucking hate it. Hate cheap people.
But I can't imagine. Well, this was a card. And I'm sure he could still give it now. But as of last check, he didn't give Chrissy and Frank a wedding gift. And I love Chrissy and Frank, but I can't imagine. Well, this was before everything, so maybe they actually did. But again, I hung out with him at the wedding. That was Gavin, my friend. But this is Gavin's like, you're fired. And he fucking pulled horse shit with me. He's like, he couldn't wait to say, nah, I don't need you anymore. Good.
The invitations also went out way before, like, you maybe knew like something, but they went out way before.
Jeff's killing it.
I would rather invite Garrett twice than Gavin.
Yeah.
Yes.
As far as
I'd rather invite Garrett twice than Gavin once.
As far as I know, he stiffed them. And I'd love for him to, I hope I'm wrong. If Gavin goes, I gave him $5,000, I'd be like,
He did it. He didn't give anybody $5,000. $5,000. Why would he give Chrissy and Frank? He barely even has any relationship with them.
I should have invited you to my wedding. But he didn't.
I fucked you $5,000. He really did. I would never, ever have it.
You want to know what a great gift was? And I don't care if he gets in trouble. Anthony Cumia did his first shot since the surgery with me at my wedding. How do you like that? Unless he's lying. He definitely did a shit, but he came up to me. He's like, he gave me the envelope like a mom thing. And he goes, don't lose this. I'm like, I'm not drunk yet. He's like, well, we're going to go do a shot. And we did.
It's a class act. Anthony Cumia. Class act.
Did a shot, and it meant the world to me. You understand? Like, that's...
It could have been his last. Wow, this is really incredible. Wow.
And I used to always... And Anthony said it perfectly.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Drinking with Cumia is a blast. That's a fact. It's literally that time me and Geno and him did the football show, I said it's on video. It's still out there. I said, if I don't make it home, tell my wife I died doing what I loved. So again, I don't want to make myself cry, but like Cumia is a fucking great guy to hang out with. That's a fact. So again, he's not a man, but he is a great guy to hang out with. And the fact that he did a show with Geno is pretty cool. Listen, I'm not going to make myself cry. I'm a little emotional today, I guess. But Cumia's like, we're going to do a shot. Like I said, he probably gave him 10,000. I wouldn't have given Geno 10,000. I would have probably done a live stream from the hotel the night before, and then give him whatever the net was, half the net. But I'm sure he gave him a nice check. It had to be 10,000, maybe 5,000. Geno's talking 5,000 about Gavin, so he probably got 10,000 from Cumia.
And I fucking, it drives me nuts. I should have yelled him, like, stop saying I gave you a heart attack. But Anthony said it. He was always like, the whole reason Geno started doing shots with me is because he would walk across the street every fucking day, like once a week. At the end of the week, he'd walk across it, and it's a tribute. I'd walk over, I'd hand him a shot, and I'd say thank you. One of the greatest moments of my life was when Aaron left. Aaron left. No, that wasn't the greatest, but after Aaron left, I went up to Anthony and I'm like, hey, and he just said, Geno, the show's yours. It's like, the show's yours, man.
Because he don't want to pay somebody else. That's why.
And that's another thing. If you saw my meltdown on Garrett and Steve, fucking all I did was save them $400 a fucking episode. Nearly $2,000. Because when Aaron left, fucking I kept that show going. I did. And don't get me wrong, I kept it going with, Garrett and Steve. Oh, who's going to be the new Garrett and Steve with the co-host? Fucking, I'm sorry if I give myself a little credit, but when I watch them, I feel a little bit like I fucking helped them get there. Don't get me wrong. They were getting where they are no matter what.
Right. No, I'm just going to stop the Garrett and Steve.
But I like to think I helped speed it up. I always fucking...
Why does Geno keep itching? He don't have money for Coke, do we? Am I missing something? Oh, no.
Spun the plates to them, and fucking they always made it 10 times funnier. And my favorite dynamic was how whenever I got too crazy, they'd fucking make fun of me and I'd laugh at myself. That's it. He gave Chrissy an unemployment form. Nicely done, Kooky for Tukey. Nicely fun. And that's a cute doggy. That's a cute. Look, it's a doodle. It's some kind of doodle, baby. And
wow, that was a lot, man. Wow, that was a lot for me. That was a lot. Wow. That was genuinely a lot for me. Wow. See, people are like real people. So Gavin don't look at people as real people. Gavin looks at people as like, I don't know how he looks at people, but he looks at people as like, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And that's fine and everything, but it's still weird. And then he wants to be invited to the wedding. I already covered that. I didn't cover Geno watching. Now Geno this. I don't even have time for this. And then Bob wants to be in the doom business. It's all insanity. Somebody sent me a clip of Bob saying he wants to be in the doom business.
Thank you, Mommy. You're welcome.
All right, let's get back to this because now Aaron's going to start coming up with some jokes for you, Geno, in a sing-song form.
That's what this used to be. Oh, we didn't even realize there was like windows over there.
The police come on Monday to put you in cuffs and search your balls.
This won't be as long because I can't watch Carl for too long, but I just got to address something Geno says.
Because you didn't handle it well.
Let me put up Doom on the, I got Stalin up there because he did the last clip. I don't know if I have Doom even. It don't matter. Bob wants to be part owner of Doom. Pun intended. Because it will be the end of it, Doom, if Bob's involved. That's a fact, Jack.
When Compound falls, they say he just went crazy, losing all his fame. He ran out to the ocean when the police
Poor Matt having
came.
to laugh at this.
I know.
That's the thing about the Dabbleverse. I'll say it again. All these people have prison records. They've been arrested. They've been handcuffed, and they all sit there and they.
Not everybody, Geno. Not Gina's gonna. I don't know if he says I got headbutted somebody. I got headbutted.
Fucking weigh in on other people's lives who have done nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I go to bed every night. I sleep like a baby.
Not for long. You won't be sleeping like a baby for long. They're going to be knocking on the door. The rent collector is going to be like, Geno Bisconte. That'd be funny if the guy who evicted Geno from his apartment is Gavin. I don't know how that's going to work, but it'd be funny.
You're this toddler, and I wake up every day. I'm like, yeah, life's good. I don't have to worry about fucking what's going on with, like, did I fucking do drugs with, like, they're immoral.
They have 5 guys. One's blind, so that's 4.5. They have 4.5 guys watching 2 guys. Geno doesn't shine in this kind of format. Geno needs to be by himself, or at least maybe one other person. Him and Aaron Berg.
Losers. The guy did drugs with children, and he's like, this guy went into an abandoned building and looked around and sent it to his buddies for their show. But oh my god, like it is the definition of cope, or it might just be retarded. I don't know.
This is what I don't understand about this behavior. Stuttering John has said very awful things about me and my family. Rob Saul has done that. If either of those guys were arrested tomorrow, it wouldn't change my day in any single way. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be sad.
Come on, Carl. Carl, you're pathetic. He wouldn't be happy. I'd be neutral. I stay in neutral all the time.
It wouldn't affect me in any single way. I don't understand this thing.
Maybe that's how you can marry someone 10 years older than you, because you have no real normal emotions. You're like, that's fine. My wife is 10. She's 55 now. She can't drive 55. And all right, I got to make some changes. I can't drive. I can't believe I'm so fucking tired. I drank too much too soon. Now I'm almost drunk. All right.
Where it's like the person who I no longer like is getting in trouble or might get in trouble, and that makes me happy. This is how Chad acts. This is how Aaron acts. This is how Stuttering John acts.
But Carl's above it all. Again, maybe that's how you marry someone who's 10 years older than you. You go, I don't have any normal emotions, so as long as she's my wife, and I guess she's a lady, that's fine. But most people, they do enjoy if someone they don't like has a bad day.
Brennan,
by the way, don't kid you.
Is getting in trouble or might get in trouble, and that makes me happy. This is how Chad acts. This is how Aaron acts. This is how Stuttering John acts. By the way, Brennan.
Yeah, me, yeah. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, that's how I do act. I loved it when Steel Toe's wife got arrested. I loved it. Yeah, I did. I thought it was a hoot when Chad got arrested. I thought it was a great day for the dabbleverse. And then Geno shits on the dabbleverse. Carl invented the dabbleverse, didn't he?
And by the way, don't kid yourself. April is a giant twat as well. Like, because the revenge.
Wait, you guys. Wait, Geno, they were your besties. You and Canoe used to go to Minnesota and cry when you had to get on a plane to go home. That's a fact, Jack.
Porn.
I thought you said she was tight.
John Twat, I did it, the tight ass. April is the one that when all this goes on is still living off the dole with those people and sends me a text like, hey, we heard about the thing. You know, she sent me a text saying, we heard about that picture, blah, blah, blah. Can you send it to us? We want to press her. And I just never texted her again till 2 months. I thought she was nuts. I'm like, what an arrogant, hypocritical bitch. And then I get a call from the police 2 weeks later, driving back from a gig. I'm not lying. I was
driving back from a gig,
and it was the police. And they're like, and I hung up on them. And then they call me back. It's like, no, this is Officer Schreiner from the. I'm like, what are you calling about? And I'm like, what do you need?
Officer Schreiner.
You know, because I have no loyalty to those two pieces of shit. Like,
they were your best pals. I'm not even making this up. They were supposed to be like the at the wedding, weren't they? The besties, maid of honor, bridesmaid.
no loyalty among all the fake people. Everyone in the chat, what are you calling about? And I'm like, what do you need to know? Because I have no loyalty to those two pieces of shit. Like, there's no loyalty among all the fake people. Everyone in the chat, they're all fucking losers that fucking live vicariously through this shit. They have no fucking lives.
Wow, Geno's taking a shot at all the losers.
I have friends that I'm loyal to. I have people that among all the fake people.
Who, Geno? Aaron Berg? You guys were inseparable when I met you. What happened?
Everyone in the chat, they're all fucking losers that fucking live vicariously through this shit. They have no fucking lives. I have friends that I'm loyal to. I have people that I have history with. But all I ever did was be nice to fucking Aaron and April. And they're too...
He has no luck with Aaron's. Aaron Berg, Aaron Imholt, Aaron Rodgers.
Fucking one dumber than the next. One living a lie like fucking Adam fucking said. And the other just fucking...
Adam. Oh, Adam Bush. Wow, that guy's ugly. Adam Bush. Is that AI? Look at Blind Mike fell asleep. It's good when you're blind because you can fall asleep. Nobody knows because you got those glasses on all the time. Even Carl's like, oh, this is getting boring.
And waiting for the next fucking meal ticket to come by. That's why she's still living with the Ricadas.
You can, I think.
Geno, you lived off a meal ticket for 7-8 years. How many years? 10 years? Compound Media?
It's fair to not like April. She does plenty, and she said plenty to make someone not like her. But she can also be a victim at the same time.
Moody, how many times have you hung out with April?
I've never hung out with April.
Shut the fuck up, Kiwi. That's right. What you do. That's it, Moody. You're like, I think, shut the fuck up. You'd never met her. You never hung out with her, but you live the life like all these other fucking in the dabbleverse. Shut the fuck up with your opinion. Tell me about people you know. That's the fucking problem with all your fuck. You know what I think? I know what you think because you don't live your fucking life with these fucking assholes.
Well, he was just saying that she can be a victim as well.
Let the chat shit on me, but that's the lesson you need to learn. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is, Moody. Like, Moody, did we not meet and we hung out and you said, can I tell? I said, you're going to tell. You're like, I'm going to tell fat tits. And I go, of course you are. And we had a nice give and take, right? Because we know each other. So as a friend, I'm...
How does he know him? Did that guy live in like New Zealand or something?
Telling you, shut the fuck up and talk about things you know about, but don't lower yourself to the level of this bunch of in the chat. Fair?
I think she is a victim. Absolutely, I think. Like, look.
Well, you don't have to know her personality. You don't have to hang out with her to know whether or not she's a victim on this.
Yeah,
though.
like she was going. Look, imagine you and Keanu are married for whatever reason, and then Keanu goes and runs
for whatever reason. Exactly. You and Keanu are married for whatever reason.
To know her personality, you don't have to hang out with her to know whether or not she's a victim on this.
Yeah,
though.
like she was going. Look, imagine you and Keanu are married for whatever reason, and then Keanu goes and runs off with someone else.
Why? Wait, why? Why do I have to? Why do I have to? You have to tell me why I have to imagine that. Why do I have to imagine that?
You have troubles with your wife, and she got hooked on some drugs from someone, and she's gone and run off with them.
Why did she get hooked on drugs?
Well, she's clout chasing.
But no, wait, you know what, Moody? I'll tell you why. Because they wanted to hang out with Ricadas for views, and then they're like, "This will be great." And then, and then fucking Ricada, who made all his fucking money doing LawTube shit and was already married with 5 kids, wanted to fuck someone else's wife.
Right.
But you're doing this like it's normal. When I'm giving you the specific.
Carl doesn't know how to do a show like this when people don't agree with each other. Carl's like, look at Carl's panicking. He's like, "What would Brennan do? What would Brennan do? This is Brennan's show every day." Carl's like, everyone gets along here.
What happened?
Yeah, Geno. So yes to all of that. So she did all of that, and she ran off with them. Okay. He's getting nervous. He's scratching his neck. You got the eczema back there, Carl? Carl's panicking. Everyone's not getting along. What happened? As the husband of that person who you loved, would you wait around and not say anything to anyone, including her family?
I wouldn't get in that
would you call up Michaeline?
You're not allowed to say how would this happen, because, in fact, I hung out with the fucking steel toes, whatever you want to call them, and none of this happened. You're not allowed to say to me, you're not allowed to say to me, let's say you're a soulless, materialistic piece of shit, and you wind up in point B, when I would never leave point A to B.
Why is Adam Bush even here?
Point B.
He's
Maybe
actually not materialistic. That is true.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, Geno.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's what you do.
Look at Carl. Carl gets such a kick out of himself. Don't you, Carl? Does your mom wife give you a lot of pats on the back? She's like, Carl, you're clever. People like you, Carl. Is that what your mom wife says, Carl?
You're them. You're living their lives because do you not like yours? Why don't you spend less time fantasizing about what they would do and fix fucking Aaron's fucking voice on the fucking AI chat?
All right.
That's what I mean. But
now he's making the point.
You get sucked into this world and say to me, hey, but imagine you. Why would I have to imagine that?
Because
I'm 55. I've got enough realities I've lived through. I've lived many lifetimes, and not in a single one of them did I say, you know what I would do for views? I'd cuck out my fucking wife.
Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable.
Look,
Geno, be careful what you wish for. Seriously. You'll do it. It's inevitable. Like the steam engine, whatever the fuck Gavin said.
I've lived through. I've lived many lifetimes, and not in a single one of them did I say, you know what I would do for views? I'd cuck out my fucking wife.
yeah.
Fucking unbelievable.
Look,
Adam, am I wrong? Stop, Adam. Fucking be the arbiter. Am I wrong, Adam? I see you nodding.
April can be a victim, and Moody has a point, and he's allowed to say it. And it's true because of all the reasons you just said about everything that Aaron did to her in terms of giving her the drugs. He can't make you answer to some.
This guy's boring. Anyway, the point is, Geno denounces the dabbleverse, even though Carl basically takes credit for inventing it. That's a fact, Jack. We're way behind, way behind, way behind, way behind. Way behind, way behind. But why should I read them? YouTube basically tells me, don't make money, don't read super chats. It'll just come back to haunt you. Stephen Bravo. Anybody else wants to come on? Let me know. I try to get Joel, what's his name? Joel Myers? No, not Joel Myers. Tom Myers. But he said he can't do the weekends until 2026. Stevie Lou ordered the Piazza to raise the pizza. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. But we don't know if it's a real Stevie Lou in the chat. Nice podcast, stupid. How do I find a picture of mommy's tits? Wasn't she at your party today? Come on, Tio Hank. Don't play, don't be naive. Mommy's boobs. Tits are tits. Mommy's boobs, I must see right now. How about that fucking game? What's the score? Fucking life's a joke. You can't take life seriously because it's a fucking joke.